So talk to me about the rack gear here. What do you like? I actually don't recognize like most of this stuff. So
cool. Yeah. So well, we'll start up here. This is a headphone distribution unit.
Okay.
Just your basic.
Yeah. I actually have the same one. I think I have something very similar.
This is running. We have a back room, and this is running the headphones for back there.
Oh, okay.
And then we have another one out on the floor that runs the floor if we need it.
Right.
This is my fave, the Automax 3. It's a Cbs compressor limiter.
No way.
It's a set and forget. It's from the 60s. It was the thing back when it started, when it came out.
CBS Laboratories.
Yeah, beautiful machine. Very hard to find them in good condition.
I bet.
This one's in functional good condition. Looks a little bit ratty, because whatever. But
I thought it was just a meter.
Oh no, yeah, no. It's a compressor. Like there's no real settings on it, but you go in with a screwdriver and you set it how you need it, and that's it.
So, what type of compressor is it?
It's like an LA2A.
Yeah, is it optical?
That idea?
Yeah.
Well, no, there's a weird piece in there. It's not a tube.
Okay.
And it's not transistor. It's like a new Vistor.
Okay.
It's a very strange piece that does the work in there.
Oh man. And was it intended for broadcast?
Yeah, so it's a leveler type of situation, but it does a very good job of keeping everything transparent. You know the vocal that you heard earlier that I played for you?
Yeah.
That was running through there.
Oh,
so you couldn't tell there's a compressor on there, but the level is consistent.
Yeah, totally. So is that we use that for vocals?
I use it for vocals or sometimes bass or a drum smashing thing if I really want to go silly, but it's not as good for that.
That's really cool. I love not having any options too.
Yeah, it's great.
It's too many options.
Just
you're like,
plug in. Is it working? Yes, no, and then, you know.
That's great.
The next guy down, it's a DBX 162.
Okay.
So it's a stereo compressor.
Okay.
It's really cool. Everybody's looking for these 160 VUs.
Yeah.
This is the stereo version, basically.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Okay, it's a very rare classic piece, and you can smash things through it, and it does such a good job of pumping and breathing, and it just gives this character, and it makes things come out of the speakers so nice.
Oh, that's cool. What do you use that for with that?
A lot of drums.
A lot of drums?
Yeah,
like
a lot of drums. Overheads, rooms, drum mix.
Oh,
you know, whatever. And then I've got these 4 channels of DBX 166.
Okay.
They're the original ones that are not the ones you find in a sound guy's rack.
Right, yeah.
They're the original ones. They sound really cool.
It's so hard for me to keep track of the DBX stuff because it's like...
There's like actually like 10 versions of these. It's crazy. And
it's like, couldn't they come up with a different model number? It's like everything's a play off the 160.
Exactly.
So frustrating.
Yeah, and you know, luckily I got paid for doing a editing or a mixing job in those one day.
Yeah, so tell me about what's going down here, because it's all unique stuff for most part.
Yeah, so this is my effects, basically my effects system. You know, I've got a delay unit up here.
Okay.
Super cheap.
Yeah.
90s piece, and it sounds unreal.
Really?
Just makes stuff come out of the speakers.
That's awesome.
I got it long time ago.
I think that, we were talking about this after, but I think because of that 80s sound that's kind of becoming popular again and the 90s sound, I think a lot of these things that were on like DJ racks and PA racks are starting to become a little bit more popular.
For sure, yeah. And you know, if you find the right ones, you get this magic. Yeah. Some really cool stuff. The next guy down here is a Sony R7. Hard to get, picked it up in the States, just classy. Just unreal reverbs. You know, this has no real age-defining sound.
Right.
It's just, you can go 90s, 70s, 80s, future, you know, whatever
cool.
future means. But
do you ever use these in tracking?
During recording?
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
Sometimes, like if I'm doing something with like the vocalist headphones and you want a little life in there, I'll toss a little bit into the mix.
Sure.
You know, but sometimes I use plugins for that.
Right.
Because it's just easier to strike if I need to.
Totally.
This is more mixing. This is my mixing setup.
Okay, cool.
To add some flair and some cool stuff. This Ibanez right here is the equivalent of a really high-end Sony Verb from, you know, it was made in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And the idea is Ibanez bought a line of Sony reverb units, you know, with the Sony processor, Sony everything, and then branded them as Ibanez, and super flopped.
And sunk the ship.
Yeah, like who wants to buy an Ibanez professional piece of equipment? But the cool thing is, you know, somebody I knew had one and told me about it and sold it to me for $100.
Wow.
And I use it always.
No way. And it's a reverb?
Yeah, it's a reverb unit. It does some delay, some tap type stuff, whatever, but it's mostly a reverb.
That's cool.
You know, your hall, your plate, your gate, you know, cool stuff. Great unit. It sounds awesome. Like all this stuff. The good thing about these pieces, even the Eventides down here, is they were made when there were limitations on the equipment.
Yeah.
So they had to find a way to pack in a lot of powerful stuff in not a lot of processing, you know, and not a lot of quality conversion.
Right.
So they're limited with converters, and the reason these things sound so much better than like a modern equivalent is because the modern equivalents have more range in the bit rate and all of that stuff.
Right.
And then it kind of gets in the way of your mix. Or these things fit better into a mix because they're less quality, I think. I don't know exactly the theory behind it, but they fit better into a mix because they're grainier and they don't, they're not as transparent.
It's like too much information.
Exactly, you know.
Interesting. That's really cool.
And then you've got these two Eventides here. One of them is the broadcast model. One of them is the full high-end, every single feature you can imagine. And so actually the funny thing is each one of these have what the other one doesn't.
Really?
Yeah, so it's really neat. They're good together.
Do you have a manual for those?
Yeah, and it's super complex.
No kidding.
But it's really easy to use if you know what you're doing. You get in there. If you're not scared of pressing buttons and doing stuff, you can go in there and set it up however you like.
And you can save stuff?
Oh yeah, save presets. Nice. Like right now we've got a preset up for the Pineapple Girls record that we're doing.
Oh, cool.
So
what will you use that for then?
So the vocal chain that I have going for this, it's running through a gated verb plus a layered pitch shift.
Oh, wow.
So the pitch shift is running into the gated verb.
My legs are done.
Yeah, no problem. The pitch shift is running into the gated verb, which makes a cool thing.
Yeah.
And then it's a stereo pitch shift. And then all of that is running back into a kind of a soft verb of some sort.
Okay.
So just to give some more space.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
That's really cool.
It works great with his voice because he's got a really interesting voice. It's just so awesome.
Yeah. Well, I love that, you know, when you have this stuff from all different eras, like there's no rules anymore in mixing. Yeah. You know, when we're taking stuff from the 70s and the 80s and the 60s and the 90s and, you know, and then creating new things. I love that.
For sure.
I love that. Well, I'm jealous of some of these pieces.
Oh, thanks,
Got to keep an eye out for some of them.